All right, people, what is going on? What is going on? Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Back with another episode. This is episode 267 of the Versa Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller, and you know how we do over here. We talk about Georgia Southern football, also talk about Atlanta Falcons football. Two good topics on deck we will be getting into. Thank you guys for the support on the last episode. YouTube, there's a handful of people that watched the episode. I really appreciate it. Also, the guys on the podcast side of things, I really appreciate you guys listening as well. Seems like we're moving in the right direction as far as this show, and it's all thanks to you guys. You guys are deciding to listen, and you're giving good feedback. I really appreciate it. I don't know where this would be without you guys, because I was a bit nervous when I started. This is a daily thing, but I knew that I just wanted to continue to give you guys the best information and content possible, and you guys responded well, and I really appreciate it. So thank you guys once again. I really thank you guys a lot. With that being said, today we're going to be talking about Russell Gage. Russell Gage played pretty good for the Atlanta Falcons. Did pretty well for them, and I'm going to try to find out what kind of destination is viable for him, and will he stay a Falcon? Not really sure, so that's why I want to talk about that. Also, I want to talk about what Georgia Southern is doing once again. I mean, look, Coach Helton, ever since he got to Statesboro, has been turning a lot of things around. He's been doing things way different, and he's been very aggressive. And we're going to talk about the aggressiveness of what they've been doing this week. And it is very refreshing to see. So we're going to talk about that as well. Like I said, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you don't mind, if you want to hang around, hit the subscribe button if you're on the YouTube side of things. Like this video if you like what you see so far. Also, share this so other people you know could watch this or listen to as well. Same thing for you guys on the podcast side. Give me a 5-star rating if you don't mind. Also, share and subscribe to your the podcast avenue of this show, so you guys could get information and get the episodes as soon as I put them up. Like I said, this podcast is on iTunes, Anchor, and Spotify. Also, it will be any podcast avenue you like to use. All you have to do is search it into the podcast search engine. I should pop right on up. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I'm not going to get into the Falcons stuff first. I definitely want to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about the Georgia Southern recruiting, tactic that they're using. I looked at this the other night on Twitter, and I thought this was somewhat of a joke. Now, and I mean, not like a joke, like a ha-ha joke, but I was like, wait a minute, is he really trying to do this? I don't believe this. Coach Helton said that he's taking 10 coaches and recruiting in every county in the state over the next 2 weeks. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah, I know he has the personnel, because I mean, you know, we talked about all the people that he's hired since he's been to Statesboro, so he has the personnel. But for the next 14 days, the next 2 weeks, you guys are going to every county in the state of Georgia, all 159 counties. So I'm like, wow, okay, is this, you trying to be a little, exaggerating a little bit, make it sound good? Well, apparently not, because so far, day one, they already went to 23 counties. Excuse me. They already went to 23 counties in one day. So 159 is not out the question in 2 weeks. Like I said, there's 159 counties in the state of Georgia. They already at 23. And let's talk about some of the counties that they went to already. I think I'm gonna get this right. I mean, I am from the state of Georgia, but I can't remember like all the counties or whatever, but I'm gonna try my best. From what I see in the graphic, now I'm looking at the graphic on the screen, and I think I got it cross-referenced with another county information right here, so I want to see if I get this right. Obviously, you know, went to Bullock County. I mean, that's where Statesboro is. Bullock County, went to Bryan County. Looks like also went to Liberty and Long County. So that's like right there in the, you know, the Statesboro area. Actually surprised they haven't gone to Evans and Jenkins and Screven and Burke yet. Effingham and Kid Chatham, like all that's right there, especially in the, the Jenkins, Screven County. There's a lot of talent there. Burke County, it's a lot of football talent up in that area. So, I would not be surprised that they'd be going there sooner rather than later. Chatham County, that's where I'm from. We'll see. Glenn County, all that stuff down there. We'll get to that. But those so far, Bullock, Bryan, Liberty, and Long. They also went down to the bottom of the state. And if you go down to the bottom of the state, you got Lanier, you got Lowndes, you got Brooks, you got Thomas, Grady County. That's Grady County. They also went to, did I say Cook? Yeah, I think I said Cook already. They went to Cook County, Lanier, Cook, Lanier, Lowndes, Brooks, Thomas, and Grady County. They went to those counties down there at the bottom of the state. A lot of talent down there as well, especially in Lowndes County. I'm surprised they didn't jump over to Colquitt County, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be going there as well. So, like I said, they said they're going to touch every county, but those are the ones that they went to so far. Now, they also went to the far west side of the state. And those counties that they went to, I think they went to Muskogee. I think I said that right. Muskogee, Harris, and Troup County. So those are three that they went over there. I think that's over there by the, Phoenix City, Columbus, Georgia area. Once again, a lot of talent there as well. And not surprising, they went to the Atlanta area day one. And there's a lot of talent in the area. When you talk about the Kendall Vildors of the world, I think Caleb Hood I think that's Madonna, Georgia. I think that's up in that area as well. When you look up at all that stuff, all the area up there, that's where all that the really good talent is. So they went to Fulton County, so they started hitting the Fulton County. They went to Cobb, Douglas County, Carroll County. Also looked like they went to Cherokee, and they went to Gwinnett County. So, very good hot spots up there. And another thing about that, I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin Whitley was the guy who went up there, because he's from that area. He has a lot of connections up there. So that's like his area. He's a high school football coach up there, so he knows the area very well. So if he went up there, I would not be surprised. And last but not least, I think it's three other counties that looks like this little small county right here. I want to make sure I get that right. Is that Oconee County? Looks like it. I could be wrong. Either Oconee or Clark County. One of the two right here, and the other two you went to Elbert and Hart County up here, going above the Augusta area, going up a little further towards the Greenville area. Greenville, South Carolina area, not too far from the border. So I don't know much about that area up there, but I'm pretty sure that they know way better than I do as far as talent goes. So, so far, 23 counties in one day. Can't wait to see what else they do. And this just goes back to what I was saying about Coach Helton. These guys are ready to make a change. And if you haven't seen it already, I don't know what you've been looking at. I mean, from day one, what I've seen as soon as he took the helm as far as recruiting, what he's been doing, like even when the old coaching staff was actually coaching the team, he was like out there already, going to all types of counties and high schools, having a rapport with a lot of the coaches, just making friends, and I guess he knew some people, or he got to know some people, and it's starting to pay off. I mean, if he's going to every county in the state, going to find talent, and that I know this is something that not really ideal when you look at every county, because you just don't know, the football program in every county of the state. But that's a good way to find like diamonds in the rough, guys that nobody's looking at. You never know what type of player you may pull out of, one of these counties. I mean, you don't know what's going on in Turner County, Ben Hill, Jeff Davis is, that's a powerhouse. I mean, they be having really good, football programs out there. I mean, when you look at a Talbot or Marion, Webster County, I mean, some of these counties that you don't really hear about. Like Bacon County, where's another good one? Madison, Franklin, Pickens, all of these counties that may have somebody who's like really good, but don't get the recognition because everybody's kind of focused on like the usual spots. So to hit every county, this is something that I don't think any other school in the state is doing. I don't. Now, will other schools follow suit? Probably so. There's already rumors out that Georgia State now is trying to offer scholarships to everybody that we offer scholarships to, and yeah, good luck with that. I will say this: Georgia State has done okay with their program. I will give them that. Now, I think with us, I think a lot of stuff is like a lot of self-inflicted problems. It's one of the reasons why we haven't been able to compete. I ain't gonna say compete. It's one of the reasons why we haven't been able to beat Georgia State handily like we should. Because you look at the type of offense we was running, the some of the coach's decisions. A lot of the stuff was self-inflicted. I don't believe that Georgia State was necessarily a better team. I think there was a better coach team, but I don't think that talent-wise is pretty much on par. If not, we are better. And looking at the talent that we've recruited lately, to me, there's no comparison. Our recruiting class should be way better than theirs. And I don't think it's even close. So, I may sound a little biased, but I mean, I'm just looking at what's on paper. They got some good guys over there. I'm not trying to say they got a bunch of sorry dudes, but, I just feel that with what we are building over here, I think the quarterback play alone got us, in a much better position than they are as far as, positions and recruiting wise. I mean, we were able to get Kyle Van Treese, Zach Roseman. We already had Cam Ransom. I just felt like we already have that. Their team is respectable. I will say that. But this Georgia Southern, Georgia State stuff, we're going to talk about that at a later time. I just feel like, we are on the up and up. And it goes to tell you that it is because ever since Coach Helton was hired, nobody's really talking much about Georgia Southern like that anymore. Like not even Appalachian State. You got some other schools that used to always talk down to us about how we ran our offense and how we ran the program. But ever since Coach Helton came, you don't really hear those rumblings no more. It's like this particular hire has put a lot of people in the Sun Belt on notice, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing because Appalachian State is one of those schools that was like really on they're really on our behind about us getting better. The option game is a deadly offense. I mean, it when ran correctly is unstoppable. I totally believe that, but you don't have the personnel to run it. You see the results that we had. Those are the type of results. So what we have now, veteran quarterback, we got like 4 or 5 receivers that have been recruited. We got like 2 or 3 of them that are coming back. You got the running backs. These guys are going out doing something for 2023. I'm in hopes. The defense is coming back. I mean, we just talked about that yesterday with all those veterans coming back. This could be a really special season. I say this every day, but the more I look at it, like, man, we're going to be a problem once again, and that's a good thing. So, and if we keep recruiting like this and being aggressive like this could be something that's going on for years to come, going on over and over again. We'll see how this goes because this is going to be, I think it's going to be really special. It's going to be really special. So I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see 23 counties already. Can't wait to see what they do tomorrow. Maybe they'll hit another 23, 25, and that'll be up to 50. That means there'll be about 35, 34, 33 percent of the state. It'll be pretty cool. So we'll see how that plays out. If you like this content, go ahead and hit the like button, share this video or share this podcast with others. Subscribe to the YouTube channel or the podcast avenue if you haven't already. I am really, really excited to continue to give this content to you guys. You guys are amazing. And you guys help this go. Without you guys, for the most part, I already be like talking to myself anyway when I do this podcast, but I'll literally be talking to myself. Thank you everybody that's in the comment section, always give me feedback. You guys are great. Thank you guys on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, that is at VFBaller, V as in violin, F as in Frank Baller. You can go ahead and follow me over there on Twitter. I'm always posting stuff about Georgia Southern football or whatever the case may be. Or Atlanta Falcons football. And let's talk about Atlanta Falcons football. Russell Gage. What can you say about Russell Gage? He's an undrafted. He is an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. Don't know what's going to happen with this guy. I mean, he's done a very good job of living up to his contract, because in the last year of his contract, he was getting a base salary of $2.1 million. And based on the situation he was in, he lived up to it. I mean, I don't know what else you could say about him, because he was in a situation where that he had to try to be the number one receiver. He had to be number one receiver, and I think he did a pretty good job of doing so, because thrown into a situation where Calvin Ridley did what he did. He had to step away for the season. He ended up getting 66 receptions for 770 yards and 4 touchdowns. He dropped 2 fumbles. Could have done better than that. But for the most part, I think he stepped up and did the best that he could. He only played 14 games. The year before that, he had 72 receptions for 786. So it's pretty much around the same amount of numbers. But with him being but in 2020, he was basically the slot guy. So he did pretty good in the slot. It's a different animal when you have to play number one receiver. And with him playing number one receiver, what has happened was his eyes was on the defense was on him a little bit more. Eyes was on him more, and he was still able to put up these type of numbers. Now, where do he go from here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Falcons will bring him back. I would be surprised if they do. If they do, I ain't gonna say if they bring him back. Wherever he goes, I don't think whatever team would try to put him in the position that he was in this year. I don't see him being a number one receiver. Like I said, maybe number 2, maybe a number 2. But I look at him at number 3 at best, and that's not a bad thing. I think he can be an excellent slot receiver, somewhat in the minds of like a Harry Douglas, like Harry Douglas was. Also, I think he'll do very well in that role as a slot receiver. He has the size. He can run routes. You just, clean up the drops a little bit. He will be just fine. Somebody's going to take a flyer out on him. Somebody's going to sign him, because I feel that he's done enough to garner another 3, maybe 4-year contract. You know what I mean? He's only 25 years old, so he has plenty of upside. Plenty of upside. He's only been in the league for 3 years and look like he's gotten better every year. Like I said, the only thing he may want to, definitely want to fix is the drops. And that's not a hard thing to fix. So he should be sought after by a few teams. Now, in my opinion, should the Falcons try to hold on to them? I think the Falcons have a lot of issues to address on the team, and Russell Gage could sit here and maybe want $7 or $8 million a year. I'm not sure if that'd be viable to the Falcons to pick up. Maybe, I don't know. They're probably already in talks of trying to get Calvin Ridley moved, so that'll be $11 million off. They may want to try to look into putting money elsewhere. They may even try to get a receiver that's cheaper, and because they probably feel like they can get probably the same type of production off of a cheaper receiver, especially if you get more receivers here that don't have to play number one. If they can get another slot guy that can actually put up these type of numbers while all the while trying to get a bona fide number one, you are probably in a good position to do that rather than re-signing him for probably more than you want to pay. And, you're probably still having that same type of contract situation similar to Calvin Ridley, which, like I said, contract situation where you be paying up to something that of that type of money. And you're probably going to get the same production that you have now. Because I don't see Russell Gage coming back to Atlanta as taking on the role as a number one. I do see the Falcons probably going into free agency and in the draft, probably pulling maybe 2 to 3 wide receivers coming up in this offseason. So with that being said, it all depends on what type of receivers they get. I do expect them to try to get a bona fide number one, and maybe I'm not going to say a bona fide number two, but they'll probably try to get another formidable receiver that could likely play the number two, or they might try to get 2 number ones and try to figure out which one's going to play where. But that's going to be, a little bit later in the offseason or probably later in the draft. I don't think there's no reason to get a receiver right away. There's no sure shot receiver to pick up right away in the draft. I think you probably get a good receiver in the 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round, and these guys could probably be able to play right away. Same thing with free agency. You guys got guys like Russell Gage is going into free agency. There's other guys that are probably going to be going there as well. So they're going to find ways to possibly sign somebody, especially if they can move Calvin Ridley. That's $11 million off the books, even though we're still kind of, strapped for cash a little bit into the salary cap. I think with the salary cap increasing and possibly moving Calvin Ridley, we should be able to make some moves. I don't think we're going to be strapped like we were last year. And last year we were strapped like pretty tight. And excuse me. And we weren't able to do anything until Julio got traded. Once Julio got traded, we could have signed our rookies. That's how strapped for cash we were last year. I think this year is going to be a little bit different. And honestly, I don't think this is going to happen. But I always expect the unexpected. Do not be surprised if you see some guys getting cut. And we started bringing some guys back on some 1-year deals or whatever. That may be the case as well, because this whole process of weeding players out and getting from under contracts is going to be a process, and it's going to take time. And this may be another year that we deal with that. Now, the towing the line, can Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot make this team better at the same time? I think they can. We're basically like maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 players away of being a 500 team. I mean, and people don't want to really think about that, but we beat all the bad teams that we played. We lost against all the good teams that we played. If we have a difference maker, maybe 2 or 3 different difference makers on the team, we could beat a couple of those good teams. Now all of a sudden you're looking at 9-8 instead of 10-7. You just never know. Just don't know how the season's gonna play out next year. I mean, we're far away down that from getting to that point. But for right now, you really want to look at and evaluate at what all you have in front of you, who's going to still be around, who you think that could get you somewhere to a level of improvement. How are you going to be able to do all of that? And with that being said, it all starts with looking at guys like Russell Gage, or when you're looking at a guy like Calvin Ridley, or when you're looking at a Deion Jones or Foye Oluokun, or when you're looking at other players that are on these 1-year deals, what are you going to do? Like I said, I think Josh Harris was on the not Josh Harris, but Eric Harris. I think he was on a 1-year deal. We may even start looking at another safety. I think we can probably start looking at another defensive back, looking at some more receivers, because we really don't have many receivers. So it's so much to look around with. That's why I was like, is it even viable to bring Russell Gage back? I'm not really sure, because I don't know, what's the asking price for. So we'll see how all that goes. I'm going to be really interested to see how that plays out as far as bringing some guys in that actually want to be able to push this team to the next level. Because we only won 7-10 last year, which is actually surprising knowing everything that we know now. I mean, I think this team should have been 4-13 or something like that. But Coach Smith got the guys to win some games, and with more and better personnel, we'll see what we can do. But it all takes one day, 1 week at a time, and see how things play out as far as free agency, the draft, and all this other stuff. So we'll see how that goes. All right, guys, that's going to close out another episode of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. If you like this episode, and if you made it this far, I thank you. I appreciate you for making it this far. I try my best to put out the best content possible. At the same time, I want to put out the best information possible. Today we talked about Georgia Southern Coach Helton. Georgia Southern Coach Helton going to all these counties, trying to find talent to make Georgia Southern football better. Also, we talked about Russell Gage as far as how well he's played this year and what's his possible next destination. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't even know what the market is for him, but I'm not sure if the Falcons will bring him back because of the money situation, but we'll see. All right, y'all. I am going to get up out of here. You guys take it easy. You guys be blessed. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great morning. See you guys then. All right, y'all. Peace.